Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video. And patch 11.1 has just officially become bigger than the actual release of the War Within in its entirety. I've never seen this volume of class changes before. It's so much that I'm probably going to have to make multiple videos of it. And if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, then make sure to smash the subscribe button. Now, obviously, the classes, they are the vehicle to which that you experience the rest of the game. And if the classes aren't feeling good, then everything else is like a castle built on sand and the game is going to sink. So this is fundamentally the most important thing to be looking at. They've also released what the new set bonuses are, and I'm going to be covering that in a different video as well. But let's get started because it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. For Death Knights here, developers notes, currently Frost and Unholy Death Knights are incredibly survivable, often boasting lower death rates than tanks and are far above any other specs in the game. From a fantasy perspective, it makes sense for Death Knights to be incredibly durable, and their kit lends itself well to it, but it currently leans too far in the unkillable direction. We fully expect Death Knight to continue being one of the more survivable specs, but this should bring them closer to a more sane level. I'm glad that they're looking at survivability. Now, obviously in PvP, I don't know if Death Knight is necessarily the same case, so you might be feeling this pretty rough in a PvP situation, but looking at self-healing, making healers feel like they have more impact, right, at keeping their group alive, whether it's PvE or PvP scenarios, so you feel like you're having an impact on the game, because they've blurred the line really heavily between what even is a healer or a DPS, because DPS can heal so much and healers can DPS so much. So if they want to bring back that more definitive role and give healers that complete identity and throughput in terms of keeping their group up, then these are kind of necessary changes that might feel bad in the current moment, but if they hit all the classes equally, then it gets the game into a really good position. Veteran of the Third War is now going to increase your stamina only by 12%, down from 20, and 6% in PvP combat, down from 10. So it was already nerfed in PvP, but it's getting nerfed again. Null magic now reduces the magical damage you take by 5%, down from 8. It was previously 4, now it's down to 3. So not as huge of a nerf in PvP, at least. Permafrost now generates an absorb shield at 30% of your auto attack damage, down from 40. For Unholy, Apocalypse and Raised Dead are now going to summon ghouls instantly, and Apocalypse and Raised Dead have new visuals, and if it's anything like the visuals they got for 11.0.5 with like shaman and stuff, this could look really cool. So, and from the visuals we've seen for the Undermine, in my reaction video to some of the kind of more surface level content that they've got for it, the animations could be dope. Now for Demon Hunter, Imprison now breaks based on a small damage threshold instead of any damage. And this is a trend that I think I noticed glancing through all the changes really quickly. And what does that mean? Does it mean maybe the random proccing AoE damage is going to be less likely to break crowd control effects, which I think would be good. I think to me, if you press a button that's deliberately designed to be an area of effect spell damage spell, it should break crowd control. But if you're pressing a single target spell that has a talent or a set bonus that randomly procs a little tiny bit of extra AoE damage, I don't think that should break crowd control. So if this can meet that threshold, then this will be a really good change for PvP and for players who want to focus more on control strategies. Spectral Sight's being reworked. It's no longer removed upon taking action, and it's no longer removed when taking damage. It's now removed by loss of control effects. It's now magic dispelled, and your movement penalty is only 20%. So Spectral Sight's getting more powerful. It's going to be really tough. Like, you could get sapped on it, I guess. Still, that's going to be like the main counter for it, but it looks like you can use other abilities while seeing targets, which is really cool. Lost in Darkness has been redesigned. Spectral Sight has a 5-second reduced cooldown and no longer reduces movement speed. Meh. Hero talents for Fellscarred. Demon Surge is going to be dealing reduced damage beyond 8 targets. That's something that's just in line with changes we've seen towards AoE. For Havoc, a new talent. This is what I'm saying. This is the biggest patch ever. Screaming Brutality. Blade Dance automatically triggers Throwglaive on your primary target for 100% damage, and each slash has a 50% chance to Throwglaive an enemy for 35. That's your set bonus from Dragonflight that made you really crazy strong. It's coming back to the game, Demon Hunters. It's kind of fun to play them in the current patch since the buffs that I've seen. You're definitely coming back. You got even more off this. Momentum renamed into Exergy and has been updated. The Hunt and Vengeful Retreat increase your damage by 5% for 20 seconds. Inertia has been updated. The Hunt and Vengeful Retreat cause your next Fell Rush or Fell Blade to empower you and increase your damage by 18%. These numbers are wild. Unbound Chaos has been updated. The Hunt and Vengeful Retreat cause your next Fell Rush or Fell Blade to deal 500% increased damage. You're getting way burst. Oh my god. Cycle of Hatred has been redesigned. I-Beam reduces the cooldown of your next I-Beam by 2.5 to 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 to 20. You can just get to be in meta. Oh my god, Demon Hunter is the best class in the game. Exergy and Inertia Choice Node is swapped locations with Unbound Chaos. Any means necessary has been removed. I'm not sure which talent this was. If you're a Demon Hunter, this is a really big deal. Please let us know in the comments down below. But everything else seems so phenomenal that even if it was, I feel like it can't be that big of a deal. For Vengeance, Demon Spike duration is going up from 6 to 8 seconds. Cycle of Binding Effect is now triggered by Sigil of Flames. It was previously all Sigil skills, and reduces Sigil skills cooldowns by 5 seconds, up from 2. I think they reduced like the CC sigils from Vengeance in the previous patch, but a little bit of a quality of life improvement here. Druid is getting a massive update as well. Many talents have changed positions. New talent, Grievous Wounds. Rake, Rip, and Thrash damage increased by 10%. New talent, Gale Winds, increases Typhoon's radius by 20%. It's ranged by 5 yards. This was in the game, and then they took it out, and now it's coming back in the game. New talent, Incessant Tempest, which reduces the cooldown of Typhoon by 5 seconds. This is really weird to me that they had this in, and they took it out, and they put it in again. New talent, Circle of Wild. Physical damage dealt by your abilities increased by 5%. 25% for Resto Druids. New talent, Circle of the Heavens. Magical damage dealt by your spells increased by 5%. This is 25% for Resto Druids. They're really making healers do. That's what they need to do. Also, healers, if they get more damage, they're gonna feel like they have more impact in a less scenario. So this is good. New talent, Licaria's Meditation. You retain Licaria's teachings bonus from your most recent form for 5 seconds after shifting out of it. New talent. Oh, that's gonna help because I think it was bugged before where it was kind of lingering anyways, I think, but now it's like deliberately going to be lingering. New talent, Symbiotic Relationship. Form a bond with an ally. Your self-healing also heals your bonded ally for 10% of the amount healed. Your healing to your bonded ally heals you for 8% of the amount healed. They're basically giving you Beacon of Light. New talent, Acena's Renewal. When a hit deals more than 12% of your maximum health, instantly heal for 10% of your health. This effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. Rep Paladins are mad about that. New talent, Perfectly Honed Instincts. Well-honed instincts can trigger up to once every 90 seconds. I thought that was already in the game, but okay. Ursoc's Spirit has been updated. Stamina increased by 4%. Stamina in bear form is increased by an additional 5%. These bonuses multiply together, so Druid's health in bear form remains unchanged. I was going to say, like, there's no way they're buffing bear form, right? Light of the Sun replaces Skull Bash for balanced Druids only. The remaining cooldown of Solar Beam is reduced by 15 seconds when it interrupts its primary target. Light of the Sun replaces Skull Bash for balanced Druids only. The remaining cooldown of Solar Beam is reduced. So we're actually going to be able to get Skull Bash as a boomkin. I don't really even know if I like that. That's a lot of extra keybinds. Improved Rejuvenation has changed to Lingering Healing. Rejuvenation's duration is increased by 3 seconds. Regrowth duration is increased by 3 when casting yourself. Doesn't really matter. They just don't heal for anything. I mean, for Resto, it's nice, but for every other spec. Instincts of the Claw is now a 1-point talent, previously 2, and has been updated. Ferocious Bite and Maul damage increased by 8%. Lore of the Grove is now a 1-point talent point, down from 2, has been updated. Moonfire and Sunfire damage increased by 10%. Fluid Form has been updated. Skull Bash can now be used in any form and shifts you into cat form if necessary. That's going to be massive keybind bloat. I mean, it makes it, it's more smooth. You can just press Skull Bash, but that's another keybind that you're going to need. The shapeshifting is, I don't see a way that kept kind of keybinds under control, so kind of risky there. Rejuvenation is getting a 5% healing increase. Wild Growth gets a 5%. Rip gets a 9% damage increase. Feral Druids are getting a big buff. I think this is mostly for PvE. Shred 10% damage. Swipe 10% damage. Ferocious Bite, though, is reduced by 8%. Cyclone is going down from 6 seconds to 5. All the Cyclone haters, like Sarah, they're doing a lot of big changes in this one. So Cyclone going down to 5. Disorienting Roar now breaks based on a small damage percentage. Also, Disorienting Roar is not going to break on the little random AoE procs, I think. Rising Light and Falling Night have been removed. And for hero talents, Druid of the Claw, Ravage damage reduced. I'm surprised they're nerfing Druid of the Claw. I haven't seen, like, hardly any Feral Druids playing this. Sunfire is now baseline for Boomkin. The following talents have been removed, Light of the Sun and Sunfire, since it's just learned baseline. Feral Druid, Thrash now learned at level 10. Previously was a talent. Brutal Slash damage getting a 10% increase. Killer Instinct no longer increases damage dealt by Moonfire, cast with Lunar Inspiration. Guardian Druid, talent, Ursul's Warding, gain magical damage reduction equal to 5 to 10% of your damage reduction from armor. Reinvigoration has been updated. Frenzied Regen heals over 1 out of 2 half additional seconds. And casts Rejuvenation Regrowth on yourself on you at 100 to 200% effectiveness. It heals over 1 additional seconds, and it's also going to regrowth. I mean, that's only for Guardian. It's giving you some survivability. I was tripping out on this, thinking that was like a Druid overall thing. I was like, it's only Guardian. Verdant Heart now learned at level 10. Mangle damage 10% buff. Maul damage 8% reduction. Raise reduced by 8%. Raise now replaces Maul. Layered Mane has been completely removed. So some Guardian Druid changes here, more self-sufficiency and damage, but I think some armor removed with this one. For Resto Druid, improved Nature's Cure is now just learned baseline, so you can dispel off curses. Thank God. Thank God. I hate having to flip the talent tree around just to get decurse. I'll be honest. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but Mastery of Harmony effectiveness increased by 30%. Now reduces its bonus with each additional heal over time effect. This update to Mastery of Harmony is intended to reward more heavily the first few heal over time effects applied to allies, while tempering the scaling at large heal over time effect counts. The scaling will still always make it a bonus to have additional heal over time effects on targets. So you get more immediate healing out of your healing. So Resto Druid is getting stronger, it seems like. Tranquility channel time reduced to a base of 5 seconds, but the total healing, so you get more healing, but you don't get to go immune for as long with the immune PP talents. Nature Swiftness now increases the healing of regrowth by 200% from 100. Flourish now causes an initial heal effect on allies split evenly among them. All damage, though, has been reduced by 20%. I think it's from compensate for all the buffs up top, maybe. This damage reduction keeps Restoration Druid's physical or magical damage dealt equivalent to previous patches when selecting the Circle of the Wild or Circle of the Heavens talent. We're making this change with the goal of moving Restoration's Druids towards utilizing either their damaging physical abilities or magic spells instead of weaving between them in order to reduce the damage rotation complexity. I think it's good. I feel like Druid, it's got way too much going on if that's the case, but some people like that, so... but it looks like they're not actually going to be buffing your damage. Rescue is now going to remove movement impairing effects. Sleepwalk it now has a 1.7 second cast time, and I think on the PvP changes a little bit later, I saw that it has no cooldown, so I think they're basically just making that PvP talent baseline. For hero talents for Flame Shaper, we're looking to improve some of the weaker talents for Flame Shaper and enable them to be more effective in dungeon content. Instead of increasing duration and spreading Fire Breath and Dream Breath, Flame Shapers can now cast Fire Breath and Dream Breath more often and have them deal more damage. Healing is in a compressed window of time. In addition, we're adding a way to opt out of Enkindle so that Echo builds can function better with Flame Shaper. So interesting. So increasing the duration and spreading of them so they can cast them more frequently. That seems fun. Fulminous Roar. Fire Breath and Dream Breath deal their damage and healing in 20% less time. Traveling Flame has been redesigned. No longer increases Dream Breath or Fire Breath durations and spreads. Instead, reduces the cooldown of Fire Breath or Dream Breath by 5 seconds when you cast Engulf. Engulf's cooldown is now reduced by haste. Titanic Precision no longer references reversion. Critical striking for preservation, as it cannot critically heal on application. Conduit of Flame critical strike chance increased to 50% from 10. Now correctly specifies that it increases critical strike chance above 50% for preservation. Enkindle deals 25% of Essence ability damage from 20. Expanded Lungs is now a choice talent against Enkindle, and Fan the Flames has been removed. So I think if they can hit this, it's going to be fun. I think that the Fire Breath, those are some of your most fun abilities, so being able to use them more frequently is definitely going to be fun. Augmentation, new talent Rockfall. Upheaval reaches its maximum power level 20% faster, has a 60% chance to grant Essence Burst. That's been really fun on my Evoker with the current set bonuses to get a guaranteed Essence Burst right after you use Eternity Surge. Modes of Possibility chance to trigger increase to 25% from 15. While in dungeons and raids, allies can no longer see additional upheavals from Rumbling Earth, and Seismic talent has moved to the PvP talents. I think this is the stun. I don't know if that kills the talent though. The PvP talent slots are usually like pretty bogged down. And this is actually one of the cool ones where you like knock them up in the air and then you slam them down with a stun. I wish more stuns were designed like that instead of like Stormbolt where they just kind of hit you. So this might not be that great. Devastation though, new talent, Azur's Celerity. Disintegrate ticks 1 additional time but deals 8% less damage. Scorching Embers damage increase now scales within power level up to a maximum of 40%, similar to Molten Embers for Augmentation. Firestorm damage increased by 50%. Its duration has been reduced, so more damage in a small amount of time, so you don't have to worry so much about keeping somebody in the area for that long, which is good, but even at 6 it might not be viable. Eternity Surge now targets enemies within a 25-yard radius around the Evoker. Instead of, interesting, around the target, so you don't need a target, so you can kind of just, is it gonna, wait, so you can't guarantee who it's gonna hit? I think that's a huge nerf if you can't guarantee who's gonna hit. It says around you, so it's like it'll just hit whatever's around you. There's a lot of pets. That hopefully is not going to be overlooked. Hoarded Power has been removed. I'm not certain as to what that is. If you're a Devastation Evoker, that sounds like a big deal. Let us know in the comments down below. Preservation Evoker, Dream Breath now heals yourself and 5 injured allies. This guarantees the Dream Breath heal over time effect will always be on yourself, so you have time, so you never have to purposely miss allies. Dream Breath and Reversion no longer snapshot with Mastery, Lifebinder. Instead, they will reevaluate the Mastery bonus each time they tick based on the target's current health and yours. Okay, Hunter. So lots of Evoker changes. Devastation seems to be getting hit I don't know if I like the change to Eternity Surge there, but for Hunters, Kindling Flare is being redesigned. It now increases the radius of Flare by 50%. Territorial Instincts has been redesigned. Now reduces the cooldown of Intimidation by 10 seconds and no longer summons a pet for you if you do not have a pet out. So you can get lower cooldown on Intimidation stun. Wilderness Medicine has been updated. Now additionally increases the cooldown reduction effect of natural mending by 0.5 seconds. So you get more defensives. No Hard Feelings has been updated. Now additionally reduces the cooldown of Misdirection by 5 seconds. Roar of Sacrifice has been updated for Marksmanship Hunters only. Instruct your pet to protect a friendly target from critical strikes, making attacks against that target unable to critically strike. Last 12 seconds while Roar of Sacrifice is active. Your Spotting Eagle cannot apply Spotter's Mark. I don't really understand this. Is Roar of Sacrifice not only, so I don't know what Spotter's Mark is. Maybe we'll see what that is depending on what it is later. Intimidation now has a unique variant when you're in Marksmanship spec that does not require line of sight and uses your Spotting Eagle. Explosive projectile speed increased. Eyes of the Beast is now only learned by Survival and Beast Mastery Hunters. Eagle Eye is now learned by Marksmanship Hunters. Okay, Freezing Trap now breaks on a small percentage of damage. Roar of Sacrifice, Wilderness Medicine, and No Hard Feelings have had their tooltips updated to not present Marksmanship Hunters with information irrelevant to their specialization. For Dark Ranger, Withering Fire has been updated. Withering Fire now triggers from casting Black Arrow during True Shot, Beast of Wrath, and no longer auto-fires Black Arrow instead of gaining Death Blow. A common complaint with Withering Fire is its consistency. The goal with this change is to raise Withering Fire's randomness floor while lowering its ceiling, still allowing for exciting high roll moments where you get many death blow procs rapidly and reducing the times where nothing happens with Withering Fire, fixing the issue preventing Bleak Powder's Cone from dealing damage over its intended area. For Pack Leader, this is one that I really hope they've done a lot with. New talent, Howl of the Pack Leader. Every 30 seconds, your next kill command summons the aid of a bear, wyvern, or boar. This is the type of stuff that should have been on Pack Leader from Rexar at the very beginning. Your bear leaps into the fray, rending the flesh of up to 8 nearby enemies, dealing heavy damage over time. Your wyvern increases the damage of you and your pet's deal. Your boar charges into battle, dealing heavy damage to your target, moderate damage to nearby enemies. This is what they needed. This is what it should have been all along, man. New talent, Better Together. Howl of the Pack's leader's cooldown is reduced to 25 seconds. Your pet's gaining an extra 5% of your attack power. New talent, Dire Summons. Kill command reduces the cooldown of the Howl of the Pack by 1 second. Cobra Shot, Rapid Strike, Mongoose Bite reduces the cooldown of Howl of the Pack by 1 second. New talent, Pack Mentality. Howl of the Pack leader causes your next kill command to deal 50% increased damage and generate an additional stack of Tip of the Spear. New talent, Earth Sign Fury. Your bear's periodic damage has 10% chance to reduce the cooldown of Kill Command, Butchery, or Flanking Strike by 1 second and 2 seconds. Choice note with Envenom Fangs. New talent, Envenom Fangs. Initial damage from your bear will consume Serpent Sting from up to 8 nearby targets, dealing 100% of its remaining damage instantly. Choice note with Earth Sign Fury. New talent, Fury of the Wyvern. Your pet's attacks increase your Wyvern's damage by 1% up to 10. Casting Kill Command and Wildfire Bomb extends the duration of your Wyvern by 1 and 2 seconds up to an additional 10. Okay, this is really good. New talent, Hog Strider. Each time your boar deals damage, your next Cobra Shot, Raptor Strike, Mongoose Bite strike 1 additional target. Beast Mastery Hunters also gain 25% increased damage to the next Cobra Shot, and it stacks up to 4 times. Survival Hunters have a 25% chance to gain Mongoose Fury. New talent, No Mercy. Damage from your kill shots sends your pets into a rage, causing all active pets within 20 yards and your bear to pounce the target and attack it. New talent, Shell Cover. When dropping below 40%, summon the aid of a turtle, reducing the damage you take by 10% for 6 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 2 minutes. New talent, Slicked Shoes. When disengaged, removes a movement impairing effect. Its cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. Choice node with Horsehair Tether. Interesting. So you get more mobility. New talent, Horsehair Tether. When an enemy is stunned by Binding Shot, it is dragged to the center of the Binding Shot. I mean, I guess it's so you get better stack. You can so you could do like an explosive trap and then it collides everything back together. It's what I think they're thinking with that. New talent, Lead from the Front. Casting Beast of Wrath and Coordinated Assault summons the aid of a beast and increases the damage dealt by your beast by 25% for 12 seconds. The following talents have been removed: Beast of Opportunity, Cornered Prey, Covering Fire, Call to Herd, Den Recovery, Frenzied Tear, Furious Assault, Howl to Pack, Pack Assault, Pack Coordination, Scattered Prey, Tireless Hunt, Vicious Hunt. Well, I gotta log on a PTR to really understand the lengths of this. It's basically like you're getting a completely new hero talent tree. Sentinel is also getting some updates. Lunar Storm's doing 25% more damage. Its radius is increased to 12 yards from 8. Its duration is increased from 12 up from 8. Lunar Storm now triggers once every 30 seconds, though, up from 15. Lunar Storm now does initial damage in addition to its periodic damage. Lunar Storm's visuals have been updated, so the little owl. Lunar Storm's cooldown can now be tracked via an aura on the player. Lunar Storm will now present an aura on the personal resource display when it's ready to be fired. I like that. Improving baseline UI effects so you don't feel like you need add-ons. I think it's really good. Lunar Storm now follows its target, although very slowly. So it's going to be very similar to the Shadow Priest Void Rift, I think. Our goal with these changes is to make Lunar Storm feel like more of a moment by reducing its frequency, increasing its damage. We're also looking to increase its usability by allowing it to slowly track its targets. Since Lunar Storm is spawned at your enemy's position, and in most content, hunters have very little agency over where the mobs are moving, we felt that allowing it to slowly follow your target is more justifiable and relative to other ground effects and area of effect spells. What about Earthenwall Totem for Shamans? Can we make that? Maybe they did when we get to that part. Developers' notes: we're happy with how Beast Mastery Hunter is playing and performing. We're just adding more hooks to ensure that the spec is an appropriate area of effect turnability. New talent, Dire Cleave. When summoned, Dire Beast gains Beast Cleave at 100% effectiveness. Seems like they're just going to give you more AoE damage. New talent, Poison Barb. Direct damage from Barb Shot has 30% chance to explode on impact, dealing nature damage to nearby enemies. Very similar to Overpower damage from Warrior, it looks like. New talent, Solitary Companion. Your pet damage is increased by 35%. Your pet size is increased by 10%. I don't know, I've seen big hunter pets, bro. Do we really need more? Developer notes: our vision for Beast Mastery's fantasy is tied to Animal Companion, but for players who would like to opt in to solo pet Beast Mastery, this talent should allow you to enjoy that playstyle with only a marginal throughput loss. We've taken some initial steps to ensure that this talent doesn't dramatically increase the throughput of spells like Call of the Wild, and we'll make changes. This seems very similar to when they tried to make Single-Minded Fury, and then they're like, oh, it's probably not going to be viable, though. So I don't really know. Stomp has been updated. Now deals separate damage instances between its primary target and secondary targets. Serpent Sting is getting a 50% damage buff. Barrage is getting a 100% damage buff. Barrage focus cost reduced to 40 from 60. Alpha Predator now increases kill command's damage multiplicatively rather than additively. That could be a lot. Additional kill shots fired from Hunter's Prey will now target enemies regardless of health. Dire Command summon chance reduced to 20 down from 30. Dire Beast visuals have also been updated. Dire Beast now leap to their target when summoned. Dire Frenzy is now a 2-point node and replaces Basilisk Collar. Following talents are removed. Basilisk Collar, thank God. I hated that one. And then Venom's Bite as well. For Marksmanship Hunter, moving to the Undermines, we are looking to reimagine Marksmanship's sharpshooter fantasy and reconcile some large spec frictions points such as Lone Wolf. Is seeing Marksmanship lose their pet functionalities and is instead joined in battle by a unique eagle pet that will exist outside of the game space but continue to support you in combat in a uniquely Marksmanship way. New ability, Harrier's Cry. Your eagle descends from the skies with a screech, giving the signal to attack. Increases haste by 30% for all party members. Allies receiving this effect will become sated, so you get bloodlust with it. New passive, Manhunter. Damaging a player with aim shot applies a grievous injury, reducing the healing they receive by 25%, so you can get the mortal wounds effect without a pet. New passive, Eyes in the Sky. Gain the aid of Spotting Eagle. Damaging an enemy with an ability empowered by precise shots has a 30% chance to cause your Spotting Eagle to mark your target. Enemies marked by your Spotting Eagle take 10% increased damage from your aim shot. Replaces Call Pet and all associated Call Pet abilities. New talent aspect of the Hydra Aim Shot Rapid Fire Arcane Shot. Now hit a second nearby target for 40% of their damage. Choice note with Trick Shots. New talent improves Spotter's Mark. Spotter's Mark damage increased by 20%. New talent Moving Target. Consuming precise shots increases the damage of your next aim shot by 20% and grants Streamline. Obsidian Tipped Ammunition. The damage of auto shot is increased by 25% and its critical strike chance is increased by 15%. Choice note with On the Target. Shrapnel Shot. Damaging an enemy with explosive shot increases the damage they receive from your next arcane shot multi-shot by 30%. Magnetic Gunpowder. Consuming precise shots reduces the cooldown of explosive shot by 2 seconds. Consuming Lock and Load reduces the cooldown of explosive shot by 8 seconds. Jeez. New talent, Precise Detonation. Bro, you're just getting a completely new class. Casting Explosive Shot grants Streamline. When aim shot damages a target affected by explosive shot instantly explodes, dealing 25% increased damage. On target, Consuming Spotter's Mark grants 4% increased haste for 10 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Multiple instances of this effect can overlap. Quick Draw, Lock and Load now increases the damage of aim shot by 15%. Consuming Spotter's Mark. This entire patch could literally just be a Hunter update. Reduces the cooldown of aim shot by 2 seconds. New talent, Eagle's Accuracy. Spotter's Mark, aim shot damage bonus is increased by 5 to 10%. New shot, Headshot. Kill Shot now benefits from precise shots at 25% effectiveness. Kill Shot now consumes precise shots. Feathered Frenzy. True Shot sends your Spotting Eagle into a frenzy, instantly applying Spotter's Mark to your target. During True Shot, your chance to apply it is increased by 50%. New talent, Tensile Bowstring. While True Shot is active, consuming precise shots extends its duration by 1 second up to 5. Additionally, True Shot now increases the effectiveness of Streamline by 50%. Incendiary Ammunition. Bullet Storm now increases the critical strike damage by 2%, and Bullet Storm can stack up to 5 more times. Bullet Hell. Damage from multi-shot and volley reduces the cooldown of rapid fire by 0.25 seconds. Damage from aim shot reduces the cooldown of volley by 0.25 seconds. So you're getting cooldown reductions synergies. New talent improves Streamline. Streamline's cast time reduction effective is increased to 30%. Choice note with focus to aim. Wind Runner Quiver. Precise shots can now stack up to 2 times, but its damage bonus is reduced to 90%. Casting Aim Shot has a 50% chance to grant an additional stack of precise shots. Precise shot stacking behavior has been updated. The damage bonus of precise shots now stacks, and all stacks are consumed when Arcane Shot or Multi-Shot are cast. What is this for Hunter, dude? It just doesn't stop, bro. Oh my god, you're getting... I mean, let's be real here. This is so much stuff. I'm going to have to log on to PTR to see this for Hunter. I can't even believe this. This is longer than the entire Lord of the Rings series. Like, what is that, bro? What is that, bro? It's just damage increase. Aim shot. You can play without a pet now. They're focusing on marksmanship. They're just going crazy with marksmanship. They're just going crazy. Let's just cut that one short because this is still early in the PTR, and like, oh my god, Marksmanship Hunters is completely different. Survival, we're mostly happy with Survival Hunters gameplay after the 20th anniversary celebration, but it continues to have a cognitive load around what buttons to press and when. So they're going to be giving it some updates. Call the Herd, kill shot increases the damage units receive from your bleed effects by 30%. Interesting. New talent, Born to Kill. Your chance to gain death blows increased by 5%, and the duration of Call to Herd is increased by 2 seconds. Call to Herd now additionally increases the damage taken by your kill shot by 25%, and Frenzied Strikes has been updated. Now additionally causes Flanking Strike to deal 15% increased damage, increases your attack speed by 25% for 12 seconds. Merciless Blow has been updated. Now additionally causes enemies damage by Flanking Strike to suffer a heavy bleed. And Alpha Predator now increases kill commands damage multiplicatively rather than additively. Merciless Blows, Butchery damage, bleed reduced. Oh, that's a big hit. Tactical Advantage now additionally increases the damage of Butchery. Flanking Strike and Butchery are now a choice node. Exposed Flank has been removed. I think for the purposes of this video, this is going to be the end of this one for these classes, and I will release another video shortly after this one covering even more specs. So make sure to stay up to date because this is literally more changes than I think the actual release of the expansion has got to be. Like we're only at Mage. We're only at Mage. It goes down to Warrior. Like, oh my god. Okay. So I'll be getting those videos up to you as soon as possible, but we're going to cut this one here. Thank you guys for tuning into this update. Hope you guys enjoyed this, initial checkout of these classes, and we will continue on to the next one.